I am a frummer. Not always. You see, I have 4 brothers. When I was younger, growing up, they were wrestlers. And I used to run from them. I got so good at running that I went to college on a running scholarship, ended up at Auburn. I was a distance runner, cross country, track. And I was always one of those runners that would be like one step above everybody else, that asshole. You know, that one guy that would be like, why don't you run with the rest of us? And no, I had to prance out ahead. So the end of my college career, friends of mine, my roommate, Teeps, my best friend, Brad, and Dusty, they all decided to go on a Sunday morning out running after 3 days of rain on mud roads. And they were like, come on, Banks, come join us. And I was like, okay, all right, I will. Now, like I said, I was a prima donna runner. I would stay in front of them, and sure enough, these guys were behind me, and they were splashing and kicking up, and it was raining. I mean, it was still raining, and the roads were muddy, and it was we were on trails most of the time, and these guys are having a blast. I mean, these guys are like weekend warriors. They're the ones that do those mud runners, mudder mudders, muddy buddy futter mutter. Butterfinger, butter, fud. Those things where people like climb up and they jump and they go through the mud. Anyway, this was back in the 80s. My friends, these guys, one weekend they would be rock climbing, another weekend they'd be bicycling, the next weekend they'd be running on these trails. So it's raining, they're running behind me, and they're splashing, and they're hitting, and I'm like that dog that goes outside to pee, that is like... doesn't want to like get his feet wet, and I was like prancing around all the puddles, and nature called, and I went off to a tree, and these guys passed me, and about, 20, 30 seconds later, I get behind them, and they're about 30 yards ahead of me, and I see them splashing every puddle. I see them kicking up. I see them picking up mud and throwing it at each other, and they've got like globs of clay on the back of their feet and legs. And these guys, laughter's contagious. And I'm watching these guys, and they are having the best time of their lives. I can't help it. I start laughing, and my mouth is like constantly open, and I catch up to them. And as I'm getting closer to them, they see that I'm interested in playing along, and they're picking up and throwing mud, and I'm getting it smacked in my face and in my head, and I'm picking it up, and I'm playing along too, and my mouth and my face is just so happy. About 3 miles later, we are mud babies. We are covered head to toe. Sorry for the interruption. I saw that movie last night, and there's a scene in there where the lead guy has mud all over him. He's on a TV show, and I felt like that guy. I was like muddied up. The rain stopped. We dropped off Dusty and Brad. Brad was Mr. Auburn, good-looking and a great personality, one of those people that you just meet and you just want to hang out with them because they can't say anything wrong. I mean, left Dusty. Teeps and I go back he's my roommate, and he goes inside to take a shower, and I'm outside dripping and full of mud and blotches of caked up dirt. And I realized to myself, I am no longer a frummer. I am now a tour. Thank you.